Hello peeps, another instalment of build stories. As you can see, Volvo FH12 cab, Esso fuel tanker. I've always had a thing for Esso fuel tankers since I was a kid. My dad bought me a Corgi, yay big, fuel tanker, Esso. Had little pots on the top you could open and put water in it. Why you put water in it, I don't know, because you'd have to tip it back out. It won't come out anywhere, but I used to love that. I've still got it, actually. Hold on 1 second, I will be back. Eyes are back, as you can see. It's not perfect, but then it is about 50 years old. It's got one of the covers missing. That one comes off anyway, look. I got this when I was very, very young. The old things come off now. Like I say, I was very, very young when I got this. So it is probably about 50 years old. So it's not bad for its age, really. And it was played with quite a bit. You push the fuel tanker in to release the fifth wheel. Seeing if there's a date on it. Yeah. There's no date anywhere on there. It's a dinky actually, not a corgi. AEC Tanker Dinky Toys, Meccano Limited, made in England. There should be a pipe, a couple of pipes. I think there was like straws if I remember rightly. Just on the side there. Put a dagger in the tank. I mean, it's like I said, it's not perfect, but it was played for. It was played with for years. So I had a thing, still got a thing actually, for the old Esso design. I don't know if you've seen my tanker trailer, the painted one, not the chrome one. It started life off as a Tamiya tanker trailer, and then it was kind of, because it was all scratched and beaten up. I'll do a video on it. I'll do a video on it after this, so you can have a good look at it. But that's the story anyway. Why I like Esso. Not necessarily their petrol stations or their prices, but just the design and livery of Esso. Hence why this come about. This is a story for this. Cut a long story short, I gave up work for a bit. I quit one job and was waiting to start another, and had a couple of months off and was bored, looking for something to build, and I started farting around with an old cab. It was an old cab off of a second-hand unit I bought just for spares. I think I used the axles or something. So I was tidying the cab up, couldn't think what I wanted to do with it. I had the chassis. If you remember last week, I think it was, I'd done a video on the Aero Max Rider truck, and that cab is what came off of this chassis. So I had that I bought just for spares, and I ended up using the whole chassis. This is actually a Aeromax chassis. It's one of the only ones I've seen from Tamiya that actually has Aeromax stamped into it on the side here. So I reused the exhaust from the Aeromax. I had to make this cab fit. It's got an MFC01 in it, I believe. My mate Tim made the tank because it was I've always liked his constructor with the tank on the back, the working tank. So the idea was I would make my own, but I didn't want to do like a water tank because that's what he had. I like Esso, so I've done a fuel tanker. So all this on the side is not just for show, it does actually work. The main connector pipe is on the back, just there. So you just hook a bit of hose up to it. If I can get a bit of hose, like so. And it will it will pump water in. Put a tiger in your tank. Put a tiger in your tank. I digress. It will pump. It will pump the water in. So on. Let's go back to where we was so I can show you better. Can you see? Yeah, you can see, right. This switch determines what way the pump goes. The pump is actually operated here from the remote. So you flick the switch on the remote, turns the pump on. But this determines whether it's going in or going out. This is just a tap to, so when you've finished, obviously the water don't come back out. So in order to operate it in the up position, we would connect the pipe on the back, turn the tap on, turn the pump on, and it will suck water in through a filter up in to the tank. This is the sight gauge. You will see the water start going up on the top and going down the other side. Disguised is an overflow. Works as two things, because one, you need air to get out. Also, if it does fill up to a certain degree, it should come out of this. The other option is take this bung out the top and just pour water straight in. But it's so much better when you're pumping it in. And then when you're finished, obviously turn it off, disconnect the pipe, and then when you want the other way, switch down, turn the tap again, flick the remote switch, and it will pump out. This is a, I think it's a, is it Grupner it's called? Grupner. I did have a box here somewhere, don't know where it's gone. It's basically a bilge pump for a boat. It's what they put on remote control boats to obviously pump the water out. Or some of them use them to pump the water through to cool the engine. I think. I could be talking a load of rubbish there, I don't really do boats. But it is, if you're looking one up, it's in RC boat section, if there is such a thing. Works perfect, really nice pump. It's a 12 volt I believe, but it works really good on 7.2 standard Tamiya batteries. And that is it basically. Up for in, down for out, blah blah blah. The tank is not actually fitted to anything. You can see, I don't know if you can see the back where the pipe goes in. So it is fed and emptied right at the rear end, right under here. because obviously it tilts back, so you want the lowest point. Tilts back on design because the real ones do. Yeah, pretty much gravity at the back. Yeah, so he built the tank. I bodged the rest. On the other side, Jesus, and it's heavy. It's even heavy when it's empty, so you imagine when it's full. And I think from memory it holds somewhere between 4 and 5 litres. Let's call it 4.5 litres, but it's not quite, but it's somewhere there. Wheels and metal, one piece. Although they're twins, it's one piece. They was cheap off eBay. They're not brilliant, but they do the job on here. This box was off of eBay, 3D printed. It's just nice bucket, but I keep my spare bits in it. So that one will just give a jet of water. This one comes down, because it's crushed in here, it acts it's like a fan. Which I know you don't do that with fuel, but I don't care. I do because I'm an arsonist. I'm not really, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? So that just holds them in there for me. Tank is just a bit of tubing with some end caps on it. Again, drill a hole, put a bolt in it. Does the job. Looks like a fuel tank. The straps are just cable ties. It's just cable tied to the chassis. It is just a bit of chrome tubing and some end caps. Actually, I've got another one somewhere. Somewhere. The operative word. There's one I made earlier. They're not secured, they will come out. It is literally just an end cap pushed in. There you go. So it's just a metal cap pushed into a bit of tubing. And you see down there, but you can see it's just a bolt basically. It looks like a cap. It does the job of what it's supposed to do. It looks like a fuel tank. I wouldn't put fuel in it, but I have no reason to put fuel in it. So quite a tight fit. So it might be, it might work actually, but who knows. There's a few designs like that you'll see on some of these trucks as I get random. I bought some, I'm not sure what size it is, 40 by 40 mil box section. And end caps, because they make nice square tanks. I'm sure it's 40 mil. Anyway, beacons are by Verona, I think. Not cheap, but look the part when they're on. They actually rotate like a proper old style beacon. So, if you ask me truly if it's worth the money, I'd probably say no, but they are nice. Like I said, the exhausts are off of the Aeromex, just cut down a bit, otherwise they stick up here too much. Instead of FH12, it's an IS50, because IS my initials, and I was 50 when I built it. funny enough. And then the front, this is a yeah, this is a 3D printed one, not the plastic one you can get off eBay. It's a 3D printed one, which I think you can get off eBay. I didn't. Andy Bundy, some of you would know Andy Bundy. He printed me a couple. That's pretty much it. What else can I tell you about it? It was a collaboration between me and Tim. He built the tank, I built the rest. Well, didn't build it, but I made it fit, if you know what I mean. And it come together quite nicely. It works. It's surprising with the amount of water in it, it still drives quite nice. You can see the suspension start sinking, it does, and it's the thing I like, and I'm pretty sure he said he put some baffles in it. If you're unaware of what that is, on proper fuel tankers they put like a wall in it with holes, so otherwise when you stop the lorry would go like that with the water sloshing, and the baffles are supposed to cut that out or minimise it. And it's very strange on here that if you're going not fast because they don't go that fast, but if you're going and you just stop suddenly, it will sit there rocking for a bit, because you will get a little bit of movement till it dies down. It's quite funny to watch. As if you watch some of the old videos, you can see it in some of them, and it's just sitting there going like that. But yeah, that's the fuel tanker. So stay tuned. Might be directly after this, might be in a week's time. Depends when I get round to editing them and uploading them, but you will see the trailer. I'll do the trailer next, the Esso trailer that I was banging on about. So that's the end of this one. I'll see you on that one. Maybe.